Bom dia, fellas. I hope you're all having a great day and a great night. Today we'll study and redesign more Concord characters. This is Pro Artist Fixes Concord Designs Part 4, even more faster and furious. Twitter is back in Brazil, baby! Go give me a follow for more art, whips, and if possible to commission me. At long last, we are at the final lap. The last 4 dumbass characters to fix. Is it finally over? Can my soul finally rest? Can I lay down my stylus knowing I did my best? Maybe. But this isn't the last content I'll do about Concord. I have one more video I'd like to make in the near future, and it will be a big one. Before we start the redesigns, I'd like to say I'm sorry. I don't think I did my best with the redesigns. A few weeks after I started this series, I researched more about the game and came to my knowledge that this game was heavily inspired by Jean Giraud, aka Mobius. He was a master at his craft, creating these fantastic and ethereal retro sci-fi art books and comics. Bro, this guy worked on things like Alien, Tron, the original one from 1982. He worked on, even fucking Space Jam, the Fifth Element. So it's like he worked on a lot of stuff. He was a master at his craft. He was like the GOAT. I think my takes are still valid and they look cool, but they do not resemble a Mobius-like art style. The closest I made was Tio, but he was the very last one. And I'd like to say I was right. Firewalk Studios has some dumbass leadership, but very competent workers. Just look at this concept art, man, like it is amazing. In the last 2 weeks, concept artists, lighting artists, like weapon, environment, you name it, they have been posting their work from the game, and it looks way better than what we got in the final product. The translation from 2D to 3D was trash. Even though I still think it is not suited for a hero shooter, and I'll talk more about it in the next video, it still looked very good despite being weird as fuck. Anyways, here are today's characters. We have divorced lesbian lawyer robot.
What's your back?
Boring elite sniper.
Right on target.
Worst combat medic ever.
Me and my crew.
And John Concord, the GOAT.
On my mark.
Okay, here is Kyps, the pinnacle of mid. When I thought this one would be easy, I got hit in the balls. Kyps has clothing that is not even bad, but it's clearly not made for combat. She's a secret agent archetype, meaning she needs to blend in with the crowd and gather information. That's exactly what she does, being the most boring, non-appealing as possible. She's not ugly, she's just normal futuristic side character robot. Those goggles though, they're rough, man. They're very bad. It makes her look so dumb. And it's just me, or does it look like she's squinting her eyes all of the time? She has a mouth, but it's just for aesthetics. And that's not bad, but since she has nothing going on for her, it won't help either. Like, her mouth doesn't even open, it's just an engraving. She can double jump. When she damages enemies from stealth, she reveals them to her team. She has a surveillance trap, which is just like a camera that shows enemies that are close. She can't look through the cameras just like Cypher from Valorant. She just sees them through walls. Basically wall hacks when they're close to it. She has a disruption grenade, which is basically a silence. She basically breaks any type of shield if generated, and she silences her opponent's abilities. When she dodges, she enters stealth, and when you are killed, your killer gets revealed to your whole team. What can we do to improve? This game didn't have a femme fatale, so I turned her into one, respectfully. I did this because it fits perfectly with the spy secret agent theme. I mostly just exaggerated her shapes into a more hourglass figure. I also made some shapes more angular. I got rid of the goggles, or the head actually. I swapped it to a full visor, kinda like Guy from Daft Punk. I completely redesigned her gun. It is now a fully automatic pistol with a mounted blade. When she is invisible, if she uses a melee attack, she will use the blade instead of the butt of the gun, dealing a critical blow. Now you can see that she carries grenades and cameras more clearly. I also made her turn invisible to highlight her stealth ability. In the end, I think she turned into a sassy robot with a lethal kit. Yeah, it's a great day for y'all robo fuckers. This is how we redesign Kyps. Vale is just boring. She has one of the better designs of the game, but has some odd or uninteresting details. She has night vision goggles or whatever, but she doesn't use them in any capacity. She has a cap pointing backwards for some reason. Her coat is all weird. The fabric seems like some old ass potato sack. She has strip mines, but you can't see her carrying them. Her main firearm is a sniper rifle, and by its design, it seems they were inspired by anti-material rifles, the ones that shoot like 50 caliber bullets and are made to pierce light armor in modern vehicles. Listen, if you get shot by those things IRL, you get insta-killed. The result is very gruesome. So why the fuck did you give this to her? Her shot should be dismembering everyone. She also has a boring pistol for when people get close. She has an interesting concept with her prosthetic legs, but the toes, man, the toes look weird. And also, why would a sniper be jumping around like this? Snipers are supposed to hold points and provide valuable info about the enemy, not like just popping out of nowhere so everyone can know where she is and just immediately shoot at her. As always, they have a good concept, but they just deliver the bare minimum. She can double jump, she can aim down the sights to gain damage resistance. She has a leap, it's just a super jump. She has a trip mine, which is kind of weird because all of the mines in this game they're all visible. Anyone can just look at them. They have like these big like lasers pointing and you can always see where they are. They're not traps, they're just like a minimal hazard that take like 0.001 seconds to just take them off. She has faster handling when landing critical shots, and she targets low health enemies through walls. Alright, what can we do to improve? I gave her a full helmet / mask instead of just her goggles, since she didn't use it in the original. Now she has dual sensors on the sides of her helmet that feeds info about the enemies directly to her visor. Her coat was a potato sack, so I just gave her a normal one but kept the ragged parts. Ah yes, just to clarify, I changed the lore so that Vale, Daw and Teal were in the same elite team in the past, so they wear similar armor. I gave her some light body armor with the same blue as the helm. It was inspired by the Halo series. Her gun now is a experimental shotgun sniper. If she aims down the sights, she can supercharge the shot. If she hip fires, the rotary blades draw back to change the bullet effect, making it scatter in a cone and deal massive damage up close. I also got rid of her boring ass pistol. Nobody cares about that. The legs aren't that much different aside the feet, which I swapped for some cooler high heels. I wanted her to slay. If the high heels were just like too thin, it wouldn't make sense. So I made it so it's like, it looks like high heels, but it's just a normal like prosthetic feet, like very triangular, very much like, they look like a solid block, but it just has like this hole in the back part to make it lighter and also to make it look like a high heel. Now her normal jump is naturally higher than her allies, and her new ability is to use the grappling hooks in her legs to attach to any surface, even the ceiling. After casting the ability, she can hold that position for a few seconds before falling, but if she gets a kill, she refreshes some of that time. Headshot kills fully refresh it. Her trap mines are now visible in her belt, and this is how I would redesign Vale. And now it's Daw. We're talking about Daw now. Bro, really? What the fuck is this shit? Look, Daw was supposed to be a combat medic, but they did their worst with this character. It doesn't matter that he's obese, or at least he looks like it, but in hero shooters, bigger characters are usually tanks so that they can cover for their squishier teammates. It does feel very much like corporate virtue signaling, but whatever. His coat has pockets too low for him to reach because if he tries to grab something there, the whole thing will lower as well, and this is so dumb. He also has snowboard or skiing goggles for no fucking reason. His weapon is a dollar store AK-47 that shoots in bursts, like, it's just a mess. He has a healing pad which he carries in his back, at least, and like you can see it. But he also has a bubble shield generator that is nowhere to be found on his kit. Like, seriously, it's not on him, he just spawns that shit on his hand. He can double jump, his healing pads heal more when they're about to deactivate, which is very counterintuitive. He can drop the healing pads, the health pack. He can drop the bubble shield, and he heals a small amount of HP when he dodges. That's it. What can we do to improve? I saw some people redesigning Daw, making him leaner, but you know what I thought? I'll make him bigger, bruh. I'll make him bigger. Big boy. From what we can hear from him in the gameplay and his ability trailer, he was supposed to be a charismatic and uplifting character, but what we got was a cringe attempt at coolness. So I had one goal: make this the chillest motherfucker in the friend group. Make him so chill that if a villain appears, they will be baffled, flabbergasted. They can't bother him, bro. He's just too chill, man. Daw is the type of guy that just wants everyone to have a good time and is inviting his friends to a barbecue party at his house like every weekend. He's just there, man. He's chilling and he's grilling. I gave him a cool helmet with space for his hair to show. I swapped the ski goggles for some cool shades, kinda like in aviators. I got rid of the coat in favor of a more protective armor. I added the cross symbol that most medics have. And since he had so many confusing accessories in the original, I gave him lots of pockets, some of them for ammo and some of them for stimulants like adrenaline and shit, I don't know. I made his shield generator hang from his belt and put the health pack on his arm. To use it, Daw froze it Captain American style, and upon landing it expands and deploys the health pack. I gave him a sort of vector style weapon. The biggest change is that it is attached to a tube that is connected to his backpack. This backpack produces 2 types of chemical stimulants, and Daw can choose one type at a time. Shooting one type allows the other to regenerate ammo. The first is a stackable buff that increases the HP regen of allies, and the second is a stackable debuff that deals damage over time on enemies. Headshots build stacks faster for both types. And this is how we redesign Daw. Now here he comes. First of all, hop off my goat, alright? He's doing his best in this bitch of a galaxy. Teo is the pinnacle of mid and lack of self-awareness. He's a very basic soldier with common issue equipment. He has a cybernetic eye but doesn't use it. He has armor that looks like a broken football protection gear and covers his body almost haphazardly. His lower body has no armor at all. He has frag and smoke grenades, but we don't see them in his gear. He has a full auto rifle and a semi-auto pistol. Both of them allow him to see through smoke, and that's it. No bullshit or fancy stuff. He's just boring incarnate. He can double jump, double dodge. He has increased mobility after dodging. He can throw smoke grenades, frag grenades, and just like I said, he can see through the smoke grenade when he aims down the sights. What can we do to improve? Well, first of all, I lost the first part of the redesign. The recording got, like, it just broke. So you'll not be missing that much. I was just masking out the body parts. But anyways, fellas, I have a confession to make. I'm kinda cheating. I've already redesigned Teo in the past, and I have a full breakdown in my art station. So now I'm just kind of redoing that over again with some major adjustments. I also got some feedback from y'all to further dig into the Robocop stuff, so thanks everybody. Okay, in Teo's new lore, he is a veteran soldier who has many great feats on his belt. During a brutal war, he was heavily injured and was deemed dead for a few hours when he just like disappeared after a big explosion. Some of his allies found him laying next to a life support equipment, completely disfigured and barely alive. He held on with sheer force of will. He was rescued but went into a coma shortly after. The stress on his body was just too much. A few months later, he woke up and quickly realized he must have went through lots of surgery. Most of his skin and muscle had died and got replaced by synthetic equivalents. He had lost an eye and most of his sense of smell and taste. After rehabilitation, he was ready to fight again, wearing a new custom-made armor that not only replaces his lost abilities, but enhances them. From that day, he was known as the Dead Walker, the lost soldier who refused to die. As menacing as he may look, Teo is actually a cool guy, but very introverted. He hated his new self. He felt he was no longer human, that he was no longer worthy of respect and love. He went head on to work to forget all about these thoughts, but they would not leave his head. That was until he met Daw, who turned into his best friend. Daw didn't care about his appearance, he cared about his heart, which was righteous and brave. And well, about his new design, it's mostly just him in a bulkier body with a heavier gun and without the pistol. Since his face is all fucked up, he uses an advanced mask shaped like a skull to strike fear on his foes and to cover up his scars. I tried making him more Mobius-like with the exposed tubing and lots of round shapes with the weird metal engravings. And I also made him carry some ammo on his thighs like Robocop does with his pistol. And that's about it. This is how I would redesign Teal. So chat, what did we learn?
Firewalk Studios had great employees but bad leadership?
Wow chat, I can't believe you were actually listening this time. Anyways, this has been Zato Tecnoar and I hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment and subscribe and let's drink some water, dude.